Okay, Barbara, Gary, Hub, James. Good to see you, Joseph. Good to see you, Henry. All right, let me get a couple of things up and running here. There we go. So hopefully everybody can see me okay? Perfect. All right, good. Well, welcome everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Thursday. We're almost getting close to the end of the summer, and there is no better time to know what's going on because this is probably the best time to learn how to trade. Kids are getting back to college. I actually just send my kids off right now. My two sons go to Delaware University. They just basically took off. But I'd like to thank all of you guys for being here, and we're going to talk about 5 trading tips during the market meltdown. You see what's happening. We saw the market crash. Is the market going up? We're going to talk about some of these great things and how to actually benefit. But like I just said, there's no better time to learn right now because September, October, November are probably the best markets to trade of the year. So why would you want to learn when the market's very active? You want to learn and be prepared for the Super Bowl when that comes up. So I want to get you all prepared how to trade. Now, at the end of this presentation, I want to alert everyone, I want to remind everybody, I'm going to invite every single one of you to watch everything that we're doing live in the market for one whole week. Now, if you can only be there for a day or maybe you want to do it the following week, great. But I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my staff's time. And more importantly, you don't want to waste my time. But it's not going to be a waste of time because what you're about to learn today is going to be very, very disturbing. And I'll tell you why. A lot of the things that you've been learning, you've been focusing on the past. I'm going to teach you how to read the future. And that's what we're going to be focused on. So let me change the slides here really quick. And just to let you know, just quick little disclaimer. First of all, I'm not making any guarantees, any promises, any warranties. And, trading results, you could lose a lot, even more than you invest. So please be smart what you trade in today's markets. Okay. All right. Now, these are what we're going to dive right in. These are things we're going to learn. Okay. Now we're going to talk about how to find the big money. I'm going to show you where these orders are. How do I know that? Because I was a market maker. I live here in New York. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Also, we're going to talk about the most important trading tools. How to basically go out there and what tools you need. We're going to talk about the best times to trade, okay? We're also going to talk about how to become an overall better trader. We're going to talk about discipline, why people fail. We're going to talk about strategies. Maybe you're a swing trader. We're going to talk about that. And my 5 favorite tips to show you how to trade the recession, a crash, a meltdown, a correction, whatever it may be. Listen, for someone like myself to be around this long, almost 30 years, I must be doing something right. And we're going to cover a hell of a lot more. So why the markets are melting down? Okay, I know we're up right now in the market, but you've seen what's happening after COVID. We had this really big run up. And let me kind of show you what I'm talking about right here. So let me bring up the Dow. And here we go. Let me just bring this up right here so you guys can see it. So this is from 2021 till today. So when you really overall look at this chart, you can see we really haven't gone anywhere. I mean, the market went from 29.50 all the way up to about 36. But it wasn't like this when we had COVID hit and we dropped and went from like 30,000 down to 18,000. We came back. A lot of you are looking at this. Is it going up? Is it going down? I mean, if you notice, we had this nice little correction here just a couple of days ago. So things are really kind of like getting you worried. So we're going to talk about that. And, as things happen, you're like, do you buy more? Do you hold on? We're going into an election season. Or, they just want to give write-off kids student loans now. They did this inflation market, the government. Is there a hurricane coming? But listen, you have to just know how to play the game. I personally love meltdowns because to me it's an opportunity. And I'll tell you why, and I'm not being negative. If any of you here had the opportunity to buy that house, but you just can't afford it, but you still want to buy it, don't you want to buy it cheap? You don't want to buy it high, you want to buy it low. Listen, you know what? Your next door neighbor, going through some tough times. He's going to file bankruptcy, okay? He comes knocking on your door and says, hey, listen, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm going in foreclosure. Before I do that, would you be interested in buying the house? So And if you had the opportunity because you wanted it, maybe get your brother, whoever it is, you know what? You just don't want someone out there just to buy it. It's the same thing with today's market. You got to know how to find the bottoms, and you got to be prepared for it. So it's all relative, because if you don't, things will crash. And just like what happened in 2000, just like what happened in all these crashes you could see back in 2008, the financial crisis, and then obviously you could see what goes on as, I mean, we're looking at the NASDAQ 100, and then you can see what happened with COVID. So, but overall, long term could also be done on the short term. But you have to be a good short term trader to understand that. And that's really where the volatility is. Because if you look at the stock PY, hold on, let me get my little crayon here so you guys can follow along. There we go. So if you look right here, you can see how the stock in one day, stock at 9:30 this morning goes from 11 to 21. You know, who wouldn't want that? Who would want to trade that stock? When's the last time you've been in a stock that did a double in one day? Probably not. You know what? We do it almost every day here at Cybertrade University, and I'm going to show it to you when you guys come trading live in the market, because there are a lot of great opportunities out there. So as much as you're worried about the meltdown, there's always something that's moving over the course of the day. And I'll give you an example, okay? Let me just bring up the execution system. Did anyone here see VACC? Stock's up 52%. It just started running from $5. Look, it's already at $7. The thing's going up beautifully. Drug. Did you guys see this stock the last couple of days? Ran from $1 to about $5. Today, nice little run up on the stock too. You could see how it ran from this morning at 9:30, ran from $2 to about almost $3. The list goes on and on and on. This was another cheap one that moved pretty nicely. AVYA. Thing ran from $1.20 to $1.60. You know what? You want to talk brand names? NVIDIA, $175. You want to trade $175 stock? I don't know. I'd rather trade something less expensive, less risk, with more reward. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to show you how we find them. Because at the end of the day, why are you here? To make money, and that is it. So looking back and seeing these bear markets, you got to be prepared. You know, one of the hardest things to teach traders is not how to make money, it's how to stop losing it. And I kind of go by that phrase every day, and I remind my traders every day that it's the losers that are going to blow up your account. So we need to focus. And when's the last time somebody went out there and taught you about the losers? When's the last time someone taught you how to get out of a loss? Because if you don't get out of a loss, those losses could put you out of business. And there are opportunities of stocks that have some big runs like Zoom, you know, but where is Zoom today? It's not at 550. I don't know if anyone owns it, but where we are, below 100. I'll actually bring it up right now. We actually traded it yesterday, Zoom, talking about it. Here we go. How's that stock for you? Nice big run up from the rally of, we all know Zoom as being the web, every school was using it. Look where it went. Look where it is all the way down now. Now it's down to $84. A little bit of a catastrophe right there, right? So wouldn't it be nice to know when to get in, when to get out? That's what we're going to talk about. So you're probably asking me, how does Fausto know which stocks to trade? Okay. And my question to you is this: before we get started and I go into detail, could everyone just give me a chat back and just let me know? Is this the first time you saw me? Is the second time? Are you a student? I'm just curious to kind of get the idea who's here and when you've been here. Henry, a student. Raymond, good to see you all. Excellent. Mike, it's your first time. Dana, okay. Bill, anyone else? First presentation? Good. Al, first time. Student for over 6 months. Barb, good to see you all. Sometimes when you keep hearing it over and over again, it just kind of sinks in. Third time, Michael? All right. Well, the big thing we need to focus on, and what we're going to cover, is we're going to talk about my 5 big tips, but most importantly, how to follow the big money. That's where it comes down to it. So before I can explain that, let me tell you a little bit about myself, okay? So For some of you who don't know me, I'm the president and founder of Cybertrain University. I started Cybertrain University almost 30 years ago. Now, some people always ask me, Fausto, why are you teaching people? If you're such a good trader, why do you teach? What is the purpose of it? Well, I can't answer for other people, but I could tell you this. How I got started is that I started by becoming a failure. I blew up 2 accounts, and I'm not embarrassed to say it, because if it wasn't for me losing money, I would have never be here today. And the reason why I stuck it out is because I knew people were making money doing this, but I just didn't understand how to do it properly. And you know what the proper way of doing it is? Surrounding yourself with good traders, and that's what I'm looking to do today. I am looking for people here that want to learn how to trade so I could teach you so you can be part of my trading room. But like I told you before, I don't want to waste your time, so let me go over a nice little demonstration, tell you what our style is, tell you the 5 big tips that you're supposed to be doing, and if it's something you want to do, you don't want to miss this opportunity not to be in that trading room. So for doing it for over 25 years, I live here in New York. This is the financial capital of the world. Some of the biggest traders, live in my own town. I see them all the time. I see them at the country club. I see them at the yacht club. And I'm just telling you this, you're not going to beat them. You can't trade against these guys. These people are trading millions and millions of shares. But you know what you can do? You could follow them. And I'm going to show you how we're going to follow the institutions, the high frequency trades, the algorithms, all those big things that that exist, the dark pools. I'm going to cover it here today. And the only way I knew that is because when I became a failure rate, I ended up taking a job as a trader, and then I surrounded myself with people who knew what they were doing. And I finally realized on the first day on the job that every single trade that I was doing, I should not have been in any one of them, because it didn't matter what I thought. It mattered what they thought. Now, we have a couple of questions. Alex, if you could answer some of these questions as people are coming in. I know John was John also, if you could sit there and answer these questions, because like I said, we only have less than an hour. I don't want to bore anybody. I want to get right to the point. Okay? So let's talk about some of the features of what I've done. So I've been all over TV. I've been featured. A lot of TV shows. I just came back from Florida. Did a big event with DTI with Tom Busby. I'm going back to Florida, doing another one at Sawgrass. Got one here in Manhattan. I'll be live next week on Traders Talk, because I want to make sure I get the word out there, because I think this is going to stick in your head right here. 90% of people fail trading. Now, that is a horrible statistic. It could even be more. So you're like, why would I get into the business with a 90% failure rate? Like, why would anybody do that? Well, do you know that 80% of restaurants go out of business? Well, they're still around, right? So why are one restaurant better than the other? Well, it's because you got a good chef. You got a good staff, okay? Why restaurants fail? Because they got dirty kitchens. How do I know this? Because I love the restaurant business, and I know so many people in it. They got terrible staff. They got terrible food. Got terrible location, okay? Got a terrible menu. You go there once, you might not go back. But you know what? If you like that restaurant, you like the staff, they say it's 50% staff, 50% food. Things work out, you'll be very successful in this industry, and they do quite well. But you know what? You can do a lot better in this, because you are your own boss. You can do whatever you want as you please. Now, how do we beat these market makers? I'm going to talk about it. And by the way, I am a bestseller of How to Beat Market Makers Their Own Game. But this book that you could buy on Amazon, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to tell you how to get it for free. Okay? So you definitely want to stick around for that. Now, let's just get to the point. This is not about me. Okay? I don't have an ego. I teach my traders not to have an ego. Okay? Maybe when I was 22, 24 years old, but it's not about me, it's about you. And I need to prove to you that you could do this, or let you know if you can't do it, you should probably go back to your day job. So let's get right back to the 5 top trading tips we're going to talk about. So these are things we're going to cover. How easy it is to see the hedge funds, the institutions, the market makers, the people who really control the market. How do we do that? Well, the things you're not supposed to do is you don't want to overanalyze, act greedy. Let the fear kick in and guide you where to get in, where to get out. These are the types of traders that fail in today's market. For example, are any of one of these things? Sometimes you feel a little too afraid to get out of it. Sometimes you're pushing that envelope. You just want to make a little bit more. Maybe some of you sitting there and you're a chart fanatic and you're like, oh, how's this chart work? Oh, how's that chart work? Let me look at this chart. Okay. That's really what you have to be careful of. So one of the big tips is this: psychology, mental. You can't overanalyze things. You can't get too cocky. You can't get too greedy. And you don't want to go out there and have a million different charts. In each case, these traders are looking backwards. Listen, you don't want to trade backwards. You want to trade forwards, because it's not really that successful of trading, driving a car and always looking at the back of your mirror. You're not looking. You want to look behind you. You look in front of you. But when you're trading today's markets, when you use indicators, like most traders do, what's the problems? They're laggers. They're not leaders. So I need to teach you the future. And the future is, where are the buyers and where are the sellers? Because most indicators only forecast basically on historic data. And how many indicators are there? There are not hundreds. There are thousands. Do you sit there, you want to learn every indicator out there? By the time that happens, you'd probably be dead. Okay? All right. You got to learn how to do something which is called keep it simple. And let me tell you, for an example, let's look at this example right here we have up on the screen. Can everyone tell me what chart's easier to read, chart number 1 or chart number 2? Let's see how all of you answer this question. Raymond, John. All right. By the way, if you cannot answer this question, you should quit trading. Really. I mean, this is not a complicated question. For example, Madrid, I didn't hear from you. Bob, I didn't hear from you. David, I didn't hear from you. Michael, what are you afraid of? Nobody's going to rat you out. Just be honest with yourself. If you don't know how to answer that question, give it a question mark. Okay? It's just too easy of a question, Rob? Okay. Well, if you said number 1, you're absolutely correct. Now, think about this for a second. Look at all these lines on the right. How the hell could you even figure out what the stock is doing? How would it be better if I was able to show you where those buyers, what makes those indicators move, what makes where those buyers and sellers are? Because you don't want to focus on the past. You want to focus on the future. And the future is keep it super simple. It's called the KISS method. All right, so let's look at Snap. All right, can everyone tell me what is the direction of Snap? Is the stock going up or going down? What do you think? Is that a dumb question? Yeah, it wasn't. That was actually pretty too easy again, right? It's going up. It's going up. That's the simple question. Now the answer is, did you need an indicator to tell you that? Yes or no? You follow where I'm going? And believe me, it's going to get even more exciting, okay? Because I'm only not even halfway done on the slides. So if you answer that question correctly, wait till I start teaching you something even more that's going to teach you how to read the future. Because remember, indicators are laggers, and it's behind the volume. What we need to look for is the future, and that's where it's all about. So to answer that question, you first have to ask yourself, answer this question, and that is, what makes a stock move in the first place? Can anyone answer that? What makes it move? Very good, Mike. Very good. James, Warren, Henry, good. Sonny, absolutely right. Well, if you said supply and demand, or buyers and sellers, you just only got partial of the credit. Okay. So stocks move based on volume and specifically big orders. Okay. So when it comes to big orders, we need to know where those orders are, because there are limit orders out there. People put limit orders. They're not sitting there trying to play games with you. If they have a big trader and they need to put an order out there, you need to be out there also. Yes, you can, Al. You can use this towards options, covered calls, absolutely. You can use it for swing trading. You could also use it for futures trading and all that good stuff. Okay, but I'm going to get into more detail on tip 1 once we get to tip 5. Okay. Now tip number 2: don't fall in love with a stock. You have to find tradable stocks. Now, this is like a no-brainer. Everybody goes out there, wakes up in the morning. Oh, I love Apple. I got an Apple. Let me. What's Apple doing? What's Apple options doing? Oh, I love Tesla. Love the technology. I just bought a Tesla. Anyone here? Listen. I assume most of you here are in the real estate business. And what do I mean by that? Some of you own a house. Some of you rent. We live somewhere, right? So you must be in that business. When you're in the real estate business, do you really care? But if you were like not buying the house for yourself and you're in the business, do you really care what you own, or are you there to make money? Because the things that you learn in real estate is location, location, and location. Okay. Yes, we are live. Fanma, yes, we're live. You have a question? No, this is not a recording. Okay. All right. So what we look for is we try to find stocks that have action. So basically, we're going to look for what's up, the top gainers and top losers. That's really what we're going to look for. Like I just showed you today, we had a couple of big ones that made some good moves today. Remember this stock I just showed you right here, VACC. Look at the stock, how nice it moved from 10 o'clock this morning, 5:30, all the way to 7:20. If you bought 1,000 shares of that this morning and you sold it right now, you're talking about a $2 profit. $2 times 1,000 shares is $2,000. Do that every day. It's about a $500,000 salary. Okay. So all we do is we work off the big percentage gainers. Here's another one. TDCX up 34%. Last 2 days, stock was at 620. Look where it is, 1120. So all we're looking at is the big percentage gainers. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself is this: what's making them going up? Why do I trade this one versus that one? Well, first of all, let me ask Al a question. Once you get caught in the downward on your position, then it hurts to take a loss. So you wind up holding even like you chased it for years if needed to be. That's let me share that. That's a great question, Al. And, let me kind of like share that with everyone so they can read that. That's what we need to fix. Okay. By the way, I'm going to do a poll question really quick right here. Let me just do a quick poll. Who really trained you? So if everyone could just click on this little poll. Are you self-taught, like YouTube and books? Did you ever take any paid courses? Do you have a mentor that you work with, maybe a coach? Just out of curiosity. Joe, I would love to show that. If I have time at the end, I will. Okay. All right. So, half of you are not answering this question. Okay. So if half of you are not answering this question, I will already assume that no one ever trained you. That's the way I'm going to look at it. So let me end the poll. Let me share what I'm talking about. So you could see that there were a lot of you here that have taken courses, okay? But there's a lot of you that didn't. So the big thing I just want to point out that if you've been following me, we're live every morning on YouTube. We broadcast every trade that we do on our Twitter. We have a live trading room, and you're going to get access to all this stuff. But let's look at a stock, for example, Virtue, okay? Virtue went up 200% in one day. Look at this stock right here. These are my students. Okay, Chuck, John, Gary. Look how much money they made on the stock. This stock literally ran from pre-market at $5 up to $15 by 11:30. Okay, great traders never buy at the bottom, sell up at top. We just try to make a profit. That's it. We're always looking to take a profit. But the thing is, how do we find it? I don't know what this company does. I really don't care. Okay. But if you look over in the big percentage gainers and losers list, it was the #1 biggest percentage gainer of the day. Okay. Now, you could go back and you could watch your TV stations, your CNBC, your Fox Business, but what's going to happen is they are going to talk about things that are moving in the market. Like today, they're talking about Dollar Tree, how good they're doing. Meanwhile, the stock is down, okay, because they can't, whatever their earnings. But I don't care what these stocks do because I'm not going to own them later. I'm not going to own them forever. I like to personally day trade. And day trading is you're in and out the same day. So I make my money, take your day, and so on. If I like the stock and it looks pretty consistent, then I'll do a short-term swing trade. If I really like it, then I'll maybe do an option or a long-term swing trade. But what you're about to see is everything that we do starts as a day trade. Okay. Now let me do a poll really quick right here. And the poll question is this: how does a stock really move? So let me, how you guys give me an answer to that. All right, great. Oh, good. Now we had a lot more people answer this question. All right, just waiting for everybody to answer it. Give you about another couple of seconds. All right. All right, let me end the poll. Let me share it. So a lot of you are saying the same thing, buying and selling. So if you said that, the answer is correct, okay? It's not all the above, and it's not news and headlines. I just came back from Florida. We did an on-site class with a bunch of traders. We were there for 3 days with them, and it took about maybe a half a day to sink in, because what makes these things move are orders, and what makes it move even more are the big orders. So that's the thing we're going to look at. So these are the things we want to cover, but it all starts by discipline. So where it comes to tip number 3, another mistake people make, which Maria, which kind of gets to your answer right there, is that people hold positions overnight. They get greedy, okay? They don't like to take losses. Like you had the stock TBLT, great run over the course of the day, ran from $6 up to $9. And all of a sudden, now the stock is down to 8. And you're like, oh, maybe I can go back to 9. And then you hold it. You wake up the next morning. Now it's down to 7. Oh, let me hopefully go back to 8. Next thing you know, where you bought it at, now you're losing money on it. Okay, so you don't want to turn gainers into losers. So whatever comes into fruition will trickle into the afternoon, and also will trickle into the when the market opens the following morning. Because if you do those mistakes, it can cost you a big loss. Just like this stock right here, FFIE. Beautiful run up, ran from 2 to 8 in a couple of days. It was a great day trade, turned to a swing trade. What does that turn into? A short squeeze. And if you didn't know if you got squeezed, you took a nice big loss there, and I don't think you really want to do that. So tip number 4, don't rely on memory. Always journal your trades. Now, another thing that you have to look at is anybody here journaling their trades? Are you writing them down? Do you have somebody that's reviewing your journals? That's what we do here. Why do we do it here at Cybertrade University? Because when I worked for somebody and I was trading someone else's money, believe me, they want to know what I was doing, okay? So journaling will help you get better to kind of learn from those mistakes. Understand something, losing money is a good thing. If you know why you lost, you're not going to do it again. You're going to lose. I don't care what anybody tells you. You're going to lose in trading. It's normal. Okay, you just got to make sure those losers don't put you out of business and know how to take those losers. So journaling is going to help you out with that. Tip number 5, don't guess the direction, follow the big money. And that's where the fun's going to come in. So now this way you're going to fasten your seatbelts, and I want to show you exactly what the strategy of how every market maker trades and how we're going to teach you and show you how to do it. So first thing I want to cover is this. There are 4 ways to view orders, okay? Now remember, you all said this correctly. How do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers, okay? So how do we get that data? Where there are 4 ways of seeing it: level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Now, let me just cover level 1, level 2 really quick. Level 1 was great back in the 80s. You had to call your broker up and get a quote. So level 1 basically is just telling you in real time what the stock is trading right now, okay? The problem with level 1 is you don't know who's buying it, who's selling it, how many orders are out there, how long they've been out there. So it's good to get a quote, but it's not giving you any sense of direction of having a game plan why it's going the direction it's going. Now, back in the 90s, they came out with something called level 2. Now, level 2 was really big in the 90s, but now we're 2020. It's outdated. It's been outdated for 30 years, okay? By the way, how much the broker, everyone here I know could probably get level 2 quotes. It's nice, it moves, it gives you quotes, but it's outdated. It doesn't give you the full data. It doesn't work like it used to. But there are things that you need to use. So by the way, so if you're using any of these 2 things to trade, you're wasting your time, okay? You can't be successful in trading by trading on primitive tools. Now, what do we need to trade to be very successful in today's markets? Does anybody here have NASDAQ total views? So let me kind of answer that question. Let me just launch this question. Anyone have this? NASDAQ total view. Well, I call it level 3. All right, so we got the poll question up there. Bones, I didn't hear from you. A couple of you. Oh, I'm just waiting for a couple more people to answer. Jim, we're going to talk about that next. Okay, don't worry about that. All right, let me end the poll. Patrick, did you write no in the poll questions? Just want to make sure you wrote that. All right. So let me share the results. So you can see how many of you have yes and some have no. So watch what I'm about to show you. Now, I'm going to be live at NASDAQ next week. I'm one of their guest speakers where they had me come in to educate the general public how to trade on their platform, okay? Now, listen, NASDAQ doesn't need Fausto Pugliese. But they want me there because they know I've been doing it for so long, and I actually helped develop it when it first came out. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it is and how it works. Now, remember, very important, you remember this clearly, how do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers, okay? Now, buyers equal support. So I know a lot of you, when you're trading, you're looking for support and resistance levels. But think about that for a second. Support is what happened in the past. But how we know that same support was in the past is in the future. Well, what makes support levels in the future are the buyers. So here we have an example of a stock that made a nice little run down, and it stopped right around here, okay? And when you look over here at that price, it's roughly right around $22.90, so 80 cents. And then when it hit there for several minutes, this, by the way, is a 1-minute chart, it went up and it shot right back up to $24.40. Now, why out of all prices did it bounce there? It's not because of Mr. Fibonacci said so. It's not because of Kramer said so. It's that when you look at NASDAQ Book Viewer, here are your buyers, here are your sellers. Here are your shares, here's the price, and these are the orders. And when you work your way down, you'll notice that when you get to a price right around $22.85, there's a 45,800 share buyer, right there. Now, remember, there are buyers at every price level. You got 700 shares, 200 shares, 400 shares. you're talking about something almost 50 to 100 times more of a buyer than at any price out there in the stock. Now, how do things go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. Now, I might sound a little, I might not sound, annoying after a while. I'll keep repeating it, but it has to sink in, okay? Because everybody here, 99% of the people are focused on the past, and I want you to be the 1% that focuses on the future. And if you were sitting there and you own the stock and it's going down, and you're like, oh my God, where do I get out? And then all of a sudden you sell it, and you say, I can't hold it no more. And then as soon as you sell it, the thing goes up, and you're like, what the hell? Are they watching me? How do they know? Listen, nobody's watching you. You are just not watching them. And that's where it comes down to it. But don't worry about it. We got a lot more to cover, okay? Let's look at some sellers. So we have a stock right here. It's going from 1430 and it shoots up all the way up to about 1550, and it comes back down. Why 1550? Okay. Well, when you own a stock, you're supposed to have a game plan. And the game plan is, where is everyone else selling the stock? So only way to look at it is we're going to the exchange where everybody has to place all their orders, okay? You, me, everybody else. We go to NEO and we look at their screen, and we'll notice that there's a 93,000 share seller, and there's about 909 orders that make up the 93,000 shares at $15.50. Now listen, we're at 1509. 300, 600, 200, 1,000, 2 shares. You're talking 93,000. Okay, that's probably almost several hundred on the average more than at any price level out there. What do you think is going to happen when we get to 1550? Oh, what a coincidence. That's why it went down. So let's go over a couple more examples. I'll explain to you. Let's look at this example right here. SQ, stock is falling, right? Now the question is, we need to locate support levels. How do we find it, everyone? Let me just do a quick poll. How do we find the support level? Let's see how you answer this question. No, Rick, that's not true. And I'm not going to say that yet until everybody else, some people also answer. Joe, you're right. John, the question is, this: you own a stock SQ, okay? It's going down. Do you sell it right here at 80? You own it at 85. You're losing your shirt, okay? Where do we take the loss? Or what do we need for it to stop going down? Greg, you're correct. Kurt, you're correct. Okay? Sam, you're wrong. It's not most recent lows. Were you not listening to me what I said earlier? What you need to do is you got to follow the other people. Look at that little man over there. Follow the $100 bills. You are nothing to these people. Listen, I say it all the time. You're the ants. You're trying to get the crumbs. These people are trading millions and millions of shares. So there are times when you're going to be in a position, you got to know where the big buyers are. So we hop over here in NASDAQ Book Viewer, and where the buyer's located on the left, that's the bid. Those are buyers. Those are real limit orders. And when I work my way down, we'll see there's a 77,000 share buyer at $79. What do you think is going to happen when we get down there to 79? Because we're not that far away. Boom. Hit 79, not for 1 minute, 2 minutes, but several minutes. It held it there, and it went right back out to 82. How many times have you bought a stock? And like I said earlier, as soon as you buy it, the damn thing goes down. And as soon as you sell it, it goes back up. and you think somebody's watching you, or you think you're just a bad trader. You know what makes you a bad trader? Because you're not watching them. By the way, did I lose anybody? Yeah, I meant to ask this. Is anyone confused? Anyone lost? Patrick says, oh yeah, you're getting pretty well. Tamia says, that's me. You buy low, sell high. Well, that's why you're here. You're here to fix that problem. So the thing is this, it's all about following the money. Because listen, Carvana, okay, this stock was, what was Carvana? $300, something like that. CVNA, I think it was like, it was like $350. This is a stock we were trading. Look at Carvana, $350, $60, came all the way down to a price of $19. Could you imagine owning that stock? And I hope I'm not hitting any nerves with anybody, because I know some people that do own things like this and they're worried about coming back. But the question is, today it was moving nicely. Well, not today specifically, but when I took this screenshot, and look at the trend. It's going up. It's up 16%. But is it going back to 300? You know, that could happen. Anything could happen. It's also going to go down to zero. But what do we need to make smarter and better trading decisions? Because we have to remember ourselves. We are the ants, and we can get stomped on. Okay? We just want to follow we want to follow the giants. So we're the giants. Get back to book viewer, and you'll notice that there was a big seller at $27. And it's not a lot as the other ones, but 8,000 compared to everyone showing 100, 200, 300, that's still substantial. And you could see how the stock, how it constantly went from 26 to almost 27, back down to 26.60, back up to 27, right back down to 26.25. Constantly hit that resistance over and over and over again. And as much as you think it was the past, no, it wasn't a past resistance. It was the future seller that made it happen. These are what we call iceberg orders, okay? Big block orders. Now, I came up with this name, iceberg, after watching the Titanic. Terrible story. I know probably everyone knows about it. Beautiful ship, great, wonderful people, unsinkable ship. But you know what? They were so concerned about the top of the water, not realizing that the iceberg is a monstrosity at the bottom. And if you don't have the right radar, guess what? You hit an iceberg, you're going to end up being like the Titanic. So how do we utilize this power to find these iceberg orders on swing trading positions? It works exactly the same. Remember COVID stocks took off? All the pandemic, Moderna, NVAX, Pfizer. Did you hear about the new one recently? Monkeypox? SIGA, great runner. Stock went from 7 all the way to 14. Okay, but the question you're probably asking is, okay, how did you know it was going to go up? Why? Where did you get out? Well, listen. Let's look at this example right here. Sega breaks closed at $10. All right, had a big run up. Wondering, could this be the next $200 or $300 stock? Well, let's look at this example right here. There's a big buyer right here at $10. See it right there for $97,000? Right here at $97,000, when it hit it, what did the stock end up doing? It shot right up and went to 17. Now, when you look at here on the buying side, you got 2,000, 3,000, 500, 97,000. Not only that, there were 98 orders that made up the 97,000, not the 4 people that made up the 3,000 or the 5 people that made the 2,000. You're talking 98,000 people went out there and made that order. So when you see a stock, how it kept hovering and hovering, hovering, it didn't want to break it. If you had that game plan, and you could see here on a swing trade, May, June, mid-June, finally, these people are out there, so you can work your way down. So please don't misconstrue that this is not for just day trading. It is also for swing trading. All right. Everybody ready for something really exciting? Now think about this. If you thought level 3 was cool, wait till you see level 4. Now this is going to fall off your charts. Now you're going to really go nuts, okay? So level 4 has a question. Fausto, is it this easy? Why isn't everybody using this system? Ed, that's a great question. I got to share that, everybody. You know how many times I hear that, Ed? Okay. So, Ed, first of all, is it that easy? Yes. The hard part about it is what I told you in tip number 3, the greed, the discipline. The reason why people don't teach this is because you have to ask the person who is teaching it. You have to ask them, I'm just out of curiosity. Who trained you? Like, did you work on Wall Street? Were you a market maker? And over 90% of the people out there never worked for somebody. Listen, they might look good on a TV. They might have a great vocabulary, okay? They might have a great commercial. They probably had a good-looking body or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe shows you a really cool indicator that made perfect sense. But I can't answer for them. All I could tell you about myself, we have a 5-star rating on Google, which is unheard of. Nobody, some people don't even have a Google review, and because you could take it down because they're embarrassed. I have an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau. This is not some phony internet bashing company out there that's trying to extort money out of you, okay? We're endorsed by every brokerage firm, Thinkorswim, TradeStation, Schwab, ViewTrade, Ninja Trader. That's unheard of. And that's why you're here, because, Ed, you're probably starting to realize you didn't find the right person, knew what you were talking about. Well, now hopefully it is. And I'm hopefully when you come and join my trading room, which I'm going to hopefully I know you're going to be one of them, you're going to realize you finally found someone who's going to teach you how to do it the right way. Okay? You're more than welcome. Now, let's get back to level 4. Okay? So now level 4 is more of a heat map. And not only are you, see, when you're looking right here, let me show you this. This is level 3 right here, right? So sometimes a lot of people like, I don't know, the numbers are moving pretty fast, whatever it is. Yeah, I get to see these numbers, I get it. But imagine when you start adding colors to it. And not only that, but telling you how long the person's been out there. Like here, we're looking at a stock where there's over 300,000 shares. And this person's been out there for 2 days. 2 stinking days. All right? Didn't go anywhere. Now, did you need an indicator to tell you that? Did you need a moving average, a stochastic, a Bollinger Band, a MACD? I didn't think so. Let's look at this example. EDU, stock, great run up. All of a sudden, you have a 40,000 share seller show up. He shows up at 10 o'clock. This stock had a nice run from 1920, goes all the way to 2040. Why does it go back down? Because a MACD said that? A Bollinger Band said that? No, it was because of that big order out there of 40,000 shares. And if you didn't see that happen and you didn't get out, guess what? Now you're crying and you just threw away $1 profit. Now you're probably losing more than $1 or $2, whatever it may be. Here's an example. Let's look, can we use this towards swing trading? Like I just told you before. Looking at a stock right here, $30 stock, 150,000 share buyer. Look over here on the right, 1,000, 9,000, 3,000. But when you get down to this really big red line, 150,000 share buyer. And there was another buyer right here at $30.50 for about 40,000. Okay. Look what happened to the stock Shutterfly over the last couple of days. Hit that support levels. Now the stock's at 34.50. So for some of you that want to know, can you use this? Is this just specifically for day trading? No, it's also good for swing trading. It's good for options trading. You could use it for Forex. You could use it for futures. We even have it for cryptocurrency. Okay. See, this is why 90% of the people fail. Because one of you just said, why are not a lot of people talking about it? Because they weren't a Wall Street trader like I was. They weren't a market maker. Okay. I was an ignorant 22-year-old kid. I'm 50 years now, but I used to make the same stupid mistakes. I'm like, oh, what do I need this for? Oh, and I'll tell you why. Another reason why. And this is how it eliminates some of you here that are going to succeed and some of you are going to fail. People always ask me this, is that free? Is that free? Let me give you one tip, okay? If you're looking for free stuff, you're in the wrong business, okay? I have still not known a place where I can get free lunches where someone else is paying for it. There's no such thing. When I first started, that data cost me $1,000 a month. Now imagine somebody coming up to you over almost 30 years ago, a 22-year-old kid, to come up with $1,000 a month. If I told you this costs $1,000 a month, I could probably say maybe 70% of you are going to probably quit right now. Okay, they're like, wow, looks pretty good, but 1,000 sounds like a lot of money. You know what I mean? Hey, if I'm teaching how to make $250,000, does $1,000 sound like a lot? Well, guess what? It doesn't cost $1,000. Okay, it doesn't cost $100. It costs $15. Okay, you're telling me you won't pay $15 to see where 70% of the buyers and sellers are? I mean, seriously. Oh, but they, what about Thinkorswim? They have their, listen, I helped design a lot of these platforms out there, okay? You want to know why 90% of people fail? Is because of ignorance and being cheap. So, but don't worry about it. I'm going to even tell you how to even get it cheaper, okay? It's going to be at the end. So now, I've been doing this for 30 years, okay? I love doing what I'm doing. And the way and the reason why I continue to be successful is because I'm looking for traders like you that I could train how to use this data so we could trade together and make money together. Because there's no software out there that's going to tell you, it's going to spit out, iceberg orders everywhere. It just doesn't exist. Okay. Now, I have something that's called a cyber group room, and I want to invite all of you traders to come and join me in that room. Because I have two families. I have my family right here. I've been married for over 25 years. My lovely wife, Debbie, with my three sons, Alex, Max, and Lucas, which I actually just let two of them go away just about an hour ago before we started to college. And then I have my second family, like I met over this weekend. And then, coming to my on-site, which is I hopefully going to make one of you part of them. Because trading, if you don't trust your family, who are you going to trust? Okay, that's why you have a family. So it's not for everybody, but the only way you're going to know it is seeing it if it actually works. So what I'm looking to do is I want to invite every single one of you to come and meet my second family, okay, in my trading room. And I want you to see if these people are making money doing it. Listen, I got nothing to prove, okay? Honestly, I don't even tell anybody. We're not going to tell you what to buy and sell. We're going to show you how these people think for themselves. Because at the end of the day, you have to hit that button. And how you know I hit the button is by seeing where the orders are in the future. Now, we broadcast live, the first hour of the open, the last hour of the close. We're open all day in the trading room, depending what part of the country. I saw we had some people here overseas, which is awesome. So listen, there are so many times when to trade and when not to trade, okay? You don't have to be here all day. This is not a full-time job, all right? But the best part about it is that you're going to be able to listen to some workshops. You're going to get to meet some great people. You're going to meet a lot of my instructors, okay? Listen, I don't want to brag, but we got this down to a science. Been doing it for 30 years with our portal page. Some of you, look at how flawless it was you to get into this room. Look how flawless it was for you to register. Look how flawless is that when you call, we email you back, or when you have our direct number. Okay. By the way, another thing, you want to know about a bad company? You know what's a bad company? A person that doesn't give you their phone number. Okay. If you have to go nuts and try to find their phone number, if you have to look at an email and there's no phone number there, that's not a person you want to do business with. Okay. All right. Michael, that's a great question. Okay. Algos put fake orders. This is what we're going to do. Michael. Are you going to register, Michael? Are you going to register at the end of this event and come see this live? Because this is what we'll do. I'll find an order. We'll use your money, and I will guarantee you, I will bet 100 times whatever you want to bet. Okay, whatever you want to bet. You put up 1,000, I'll pay you 10,000. Okay, you put $1, I'll pay them up with 100. Okay, I'll find one of those algos. We'll use your money, and if you don't get executed, okay, then I'll pay you. All right, this goes to anybody. But if you get executed, we're all going to have fun watching you how to get out of that position. Okay, and I will definitely pay for that. So to answer your question, there's no such thing as fake orders. Okay, the exchanges won't let you to put a fake order out there. Listen, you could cancel an order. You and I could cancel order, but there's no such thing as fake. Anyone that tells you that that's a fake order is a fake trader. Okay, and believe me, I've been in the public eye forever, and I met people that said that to them, and I called them out, and I said the same exact thing. They said, so you're basically spitting in my face and telling me what I'm telling people is that I'm showing that there's fake stuff out there. So I said, okay, great. You know what? I make a bet with you. I'll go find one. We'll use your money, and we'll make a bet, and you tell me how fake it is. Okay? So, all right. Now, another great tool that we're going to give you is that you can access the trading room with your phones. You could actually, you're going to get alerts from us. So we got a great alert service. We're going to text you what's moving in the market. You can access the trading room from here. It's all live. Nothing's recorded. You can access the classes that you missed in here live. So we really, really have it down to a science. Now, what is this all going to cost? $9. That's it. 1 week access for $9 stinking. Okay. Now, why $9? I'll tell you why. Because that sounds awfully cheap, right? It's like, wait a minute. People are selling things for like hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. What I'm looking to do is I want you to come in the room, and the $9 is basically an application fee. All it does is tells you're a real person. If you can't come up with $9, I'd rather not have you in my room. Okay? I don't know who you are, where you came from, or whatever it is. That $9 is basically an insurance policy for us to let us know that we know who you are to come in there. Now, I don't need your $9. Okay? Actually, this is what I'll do. At the end of the week, I'll give you $9 back. If you really think we're that bad and we wasted your time, I'll give you $9 back. All right? Now, this is what you're going to get for the $9. First of all, you're going to get the live trading room for a whole week. Okay? Second, you're going to get 3 pro workshops. I'm going to teach you how to read level 3, time and sales, entries and exits. Also, we're going to give you the Trade Talk library. We do a live audio broadcast every Tuesday where we're going to be able to answer your questions with the traders, and you can access old ones, hundreds of hours. This is what you're going to get for $9. And as a bonus, like I just told you, everyone here is going to get my book. So instead of going out there and paying $45 going on Amazon, I'm going to give you the PDF when you register for it. Okay? And as one last bonus, if you register right now, I will personally give the first 20 people here a free coaching class. Okay? Now, why would I make that investment in that time to do that? Well, this is the main reason. We need to have a conversation. Okay? We need to make sure that this is something for you to do. I want to make sure I'm not wasting your time. That really comes down to it. So, and you might have questions after being in the trading room, and I don't want to be hiding behind emails or text messages or whatever it is. I want you to feel very comfortable with me, just like you would feel comfortable with your doctor that would do surgery with you. Okay? And I know all of you just don't go wake up in the morning and said, you know what? Something happened. I'm going to have anybody just do surgery on me. I know everybody here is going to do their homework to make sure the doctor that's doing it knows what he's doing. Okay? So, all this, everything we talked about for $9. So the link is up there right now. Click on that link, register, and what's going to happen is this. Every one of you are going to get access to an education advisor. What they're going to do is we're gonna call you over the phone. We're gonna help you get into the room. We're gonna take the time to show you the videos, where they are. We're not gonna sell you anything, okay? So don't worry about it. We're gonna and they're also gonna book whoever. They're gonna book your coaching class with me and so on. And then you know what? When you're ready, you start it. When you're not ready, don't start it. But if you want to know why we've been around for so long, if you want to know why we have such a great reputation in the industry, here's your opportunity to do it. Now, just a couple of shout outs. I can see people are starting to register right now. And I'm going to call out some names. I have to thank a lot of you that are registering. But when you register, very important, traders, there's going to be a questionnaire. Please tell us a little bit about you, okay? Have you ever been trained before? All right? Don't be embarrassed. It's like going to the doctor's office. Don't lie. You know, if something wrong with you, please let us know. How much money are you trading with? Want to make sure that you're trading the right stocks when we talk to you. You know, do you have a broker? Do you have level 3? What kind of trader are you? You know, and listen, it's okay to, you know, like I know some people like, well, I like futures. I've been trading futures. Listen, if you have been trading a market and you've been doing more than 2 to 3 months and you're not seeing success out of it, you're wasting your time. You really are. I had somebody the other day that was a student. They goes, Fausto, I took a class and they told me it's going to take a year. I'm like, what? A year? I'm like, so let me get this straight. So you hired somebody and you're going to pay them for a whole year before you decide that you have to let them go? Listen, we all know, if you're a boss or you work for somebody, if somebody new comes into it and they're still there for a week, 2 weeks, a month, and they're doing more harm than good, they got to go, okay? Because what ends up going to happen, they're going to hurt you, or you could get filed. So it's not going to take you that long. You're going to learn in a couple of days. Evelyn, all you have to do, did you sign up, Evelyn? I see you just signed up. I'm not going to put your phone number in there. Just click on that link, Evelyn, that we have, or you can call our number and you can talk to an education advisor, but I recommend you do it online. It's a little bit easier. So really quick, just showing some people we got here. Charles Ling, I just got your registration. Well, you'll be like the first one there. Nad, what is it? Kaluni, we got your registration. Welcome aboard. Jasmine, got your registration. Fatima, got your registration. Welcome aboard. Patrick R. Sherman, just got your registration. Lance from Boston, got your registration. Welcome aboard. Now, does anyone have any questions? While you guys are registering, I'm going to stick around for about another 5 minutes because I got to go. I got to go get an MRI. Over this past week, I was on vacation and I was playing beach volleyball and I blew my meniscus, they told me. So I got to get an x-ray. But I want to sit around for a couple of more minutes and answer some questions. John has a question. Already a member, Scotland. Can I get the book PDF? Yes, John. So if you already registered, all you have to do is send an email to your education advisor, and he'll make sure you get that. Okay? We'll take care of that for you. I think somebody in Cyber Group already mentioned that. All right, who else we got here? Mohammed just got your registration. Welcome aboard. By the way, the person I see here didn't register yet. Who's the one that keeps texting me? Michael, I didn't get your registration yet. Michael B. Dan didn't get your registration. Edward, I don't know, maybe you're filling it out. $9. It's $9. Showing you where 70% of the buyers are. Where are you going to know and learn how to be with, you know, one of the largest, longest running, most popular education schools in the industry for $9? Okay? And this is what I'm talking about. If you can't afford $9, you should not be trading. And please don't be offended by that. But if you saw what I taught you today and you saw how we shadow market makers, want to see how high frequency trades go, okay? If you want to see how to read on a heat map, this is your opportunity, okay? I got one person says, I don't know if could I change the date? Yes, you don't have to start next week. Start the following week. One person says, I'm going away. I get it, but lock in the $9 now because it might not be there tomorrow. Great, Raymond. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Dan, you already registered? All right, so I got Greg. I got your registration. Yami. Here, I'll show all you guys. Here's all the registrations. David got your registration. Dorino got your registration. I see you all coming in right now. Michael Bordick, I got your registration. There we go. Shumi got your registration. Sam Carley got your registration. Good. You see all the people registering now. Awesome. That's still not enough. That's still not enough. There was over 100 people in here. Well, I know we have students in here also, so they'd love to come to support us and hear it. But fill out that registration. Will you call me because I'm at work and I have to deal with my customers, Joseph? No, so Joseph, you're going to get a registration page once you register, and you'll have we're going to call our advisors, assistants are going to call you, book an appointment. What's a good time for you? So you have to deal with with where you want to worry about interfere with your customers, and they'll do like a 10-minute walkthrough with you. You get to the trading room, you'll get ready. And then you just, and then they'll schedule an appointment with you. A couple other people are registering right now. Kathleen, there you are. I got your registration. Welcome aboard. Samuel, just got your registration. All right. Any other questions, fellow traders? I hope this is really exciting. I love doing this. And more importantly, I love changing people's lives. I really do. There's a lot of us that go out there and, you see all these people trading in the market and, you buy yourself. You don't know who to trust. You have to surround yourself with good traders. You have to surround yourself with people who really love what they do. And I'm one of them. And you know what? There's a lot of opportunities out there. You just got to know where to look. You just got to follow the money. That's all you have to do. A couple other people just registering. Martha just got your registration. Shimano got your registration. Any other questions? Looks like everyone's just filling it out. All right, well, that looks awesome. Oh, more people are registering. Got your registration. Evelyn's got your registration. Welcome aboard. Now, listen, for some of you that are not here live, because we are recording this, and you might be probably watching this a little bit later, listen, just feel free to fill out the registration. Listen, if you can't get an appointment with me, you will be able to talk to one of the other traders and the instructors in the room. I only have X amount of time to spend, and with everyone because listen, I trade. I'm running I'm trading myself, and I don't want to be here all day. But if you're serious, I'll take you very seriously. So please just take the time to fill it out. And like I said, you do it. You start when you want to start, but don't waste too much time because September, October, November are the best months to trade. I will register after I cut my customer. Okay, that's not delayed. No problem. I understand it, Joseph. Appreciate it. Another person just registered. Simon Sherritt's got your registration. Mike McCarthy got your registration. It's good. It looks like everyone's registered. Great. Listen, it's only $9. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? We give you money back. All right. So these are all the great features are going to go. So I got to go, but let me just tell everyone, this is your last chance. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get the live cyber group room. You're going to get Monday to Friday, the trading room from 7:45 in the morning to 4:30. You're going to get a daily watch list. You're going to get a meeting with me. Okay. You're going to get 3 workshops. You're going to get the Traders Talk Archives video. You're going to get my book for free. All right. And like I said, you're going to get a free coaching class. This is all for $9, money back guarantee. Okay. And another thing, yes, there was another question. One person asked me, "What's the fee after?" Listen, we're not going to charge you. We're not going to scam you like some other people and lock you in. And once you pay the $9, we're going to hit you with a $300 fee after the week. We don't do that. If you don't want to continue with Cyber Trade University, we don't want you there, and we don't want to take your money. Okay, we don't need the scrutiny. So don't worry about it. There's nothing more after the $9. All right. All right, traders. Listen, thank you so much. I'd like to thank the staff for being here. I look forward to seeing you all in the trading room. In the meantime, Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you. Let's go make some money in the trading, okay, everyone? Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your dance.